It is Tuesday, July 26th, and here's a couple things we're thinking about this morning. Number one, Google Maps has come out with a updated look to their interface. If you play with it now, you'll notice that there are cleaner lines. They've made it. They've taken away like the outlines to all the streets, so it's more transparent looking, but it's actually a bit cleaner to look at as well. But the big change is that they've introduced this concept, highlighting areas of interest. They're calling it areas that are high density activity, lots of restaurants, bars, shops. They're going to be actually shaded orange, the actual neighborhoods and the actual areas of the streets in which these places exist. So when you're looking for a hotel that's in a dense populated area, or if you're looking for a cool place to window shop for a few hours, you'll be able to see the areas in your city that are highlighted or shaded slightly orange, and those are areas of interest, and you can go to those places and see what you think. So it's kind of an interesting new feature, interesting localized feature from Google Maps, and we'll see how it unfolds. Number two, Apple is working on a new car project. I don't believe they've officially announced this yet, but the rumor is that they have tapped Bob Mansfield, who was the guy in-house in charge of the Apple Watch, and I believe also the iPad at one point or another. They've had this kind of under wraps for a long time. People have known that they were doing this. There's been a lot of rumors about it, but it does seem as though Apple is finally going to get into the car market. That'll be fun to watch. And then I also heard through the grapevine, through a contact of my own out here in Los Angeles, maybe this has been reported already, I'm sure it has, but that they've taken a lot of employees from Tesla, if you wanted to get an idea of kind of the route they're trying to go. So that'll be fun to watch Apple try and introduce itself to a whole new market, much like they did to the watch market and the phone market, I suppose, and see what the world looks like when we start seeing Apple cars driving around on the street. And finally today, I want to point all of you to an app that you may or may not have even heard of, but it's one that over half of American teenagers are currently on, and that's called Musical.ly. It's easy to sum it up as a lip-syncing app, somewhat like Dubsmash was, only this is vastly more popular, and it is, you also see some kids using it as a platform to do little comedy sketches or to sing actual songs with their own audio and their own voices as opposed to lip-syncing. But it is only growing in popularity among kids 12 to 16 years old-ish. Most popular kids on the platform are 15 years old, and they're just going to continue to grow up. So will Musical.ly travel with them? Will we see 20-year-olds on Musical.ly at some point here in any meaningful way? It'll be interesting to watch, but there's a lot of people out there that will assure you that Musical.ly is the next Snapchat, and that right now is Snapchat in 2013. When everyone thought it was still for sexting only. So before you look down your nose at the new app Musical.ly, I would suggest maybe downloading it on your phone. Just go through the newsfeed on it. It's not even really a newsfeed, it's a feed of kids singing. But just observe it. Be an anthropologist, see what people are doing on it, and then just check back in on it every once in a while, because if it is truly the next Snapchat, it's going to be a good idea for you to have been familiarizing yourself with it before the adults suddenly stop looking at it as a kid's thing. So there's an article on Elle that I will put in the comments below that's all about how kids are using it and what kind of it reminds me a lot of some of the stories from the early days of vlogging on YouTube, because a lot of the kids, like some of the kids have already gotten and released singles, music singles, and are being like mobbed in malls by other teenagers that are on Musical.ly. And you and I would never know these kids if we're not on Musical.ly. So it's its own culture, and at a certain point, that culture tips over, and adults become aware of it, and marketers become aware of it. And a lot of marketers are already aware of it, are using it. One way, in fact, given that it's a lip syncing app and it puts little chunks of popular songs on there, it's a fantastic place for music to be discovered, because if enough kids like a song, they will sing it. And as you'll see in that feed, there's an aggregate effect of I'm hearing the same song being chosen over and over and over again. So a lot of musicians see Musical.ly as just a whole bunch of free advertising, quite frankly. So give it a download, see what you think, and read that article that I'll post in the comments here, and familiarize with something that could be the next Snapchat. That's all for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going to my first ever Liverpool Football Club game as part of the Champions Cup, their American tour here in Los Angeles at the Rose Bowl. So I'm very excited. I'm getting so excited that I'm wearing my jersey already, and I'll be doing. Well, I won't do tomorrow morning's Storyverse Daily from there, but I will do the next morning's Storyverse Daily from there, from the stadium. So look forward to that. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day.